Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to be talking about Willie the homeless man. Now, this is taking place after the Van Alstyne thing, and I was working in Denison. I had just started, and this homeless man named Willie came in, and he was asking me for free food because apparently the old GM started giving him free food. And I'm not about that charitable organization shit, so I was like, no. Now, that does not make me a bad person. It just, whenever that money, the food cost comes out of my check, that's an issue. Because I have bills to pay. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you free food. And he got mad, and he's like, well, the old GM. And I was like, well, I'm not the old GM. I'm the new GM. If you want to buy something, I can give you a drink. I will give you a drink. But I'm not going to give you free food. No. Because it was a busy store. If I did that for him, then somebody else sits in there and is like, well, where's my free food? And it just starts like a whole chain reaction. So no. I told him he had to leave if he wasn't going to buy anything. And I did offer him something to drink, but he wouldn't take it because he just wanted food. I thought he left, but he didn't. It's like 10 minutes later, I start hearing people like gasping out in the dining room. So I'm like, shit, because it is a busy store, so there's people there. I run out into the dining room, and there's Willie grabbing food off of people's plates. He had a handful of spaghetti in his hand whenever I caught him. And he was like, get out, or I'm going to call the fucking police. And he was just like, well, call the police. I don't care. And I knew the cops weren't going to show up for like a good 30 minutes because that's just how they are for like most instances. Anytime I've ever called the police, they take like damn near a movie length to show up. I even had somebody like try to rob me once with a knife, and they still fucking took forever to show up. Anyways, so I knew that they weren't going to show up in time. So I said, we can do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. And I will grab you by the back of the throat and throw you into the curb. I'm not afraid of anybody. So he was just looking at me, and I was just like, get out. So he left. He actually did leave. So I had to accommodate everybody in the store and had to, give him free food for it and give him a credit and, apologize out of my ass. Like, I'm sorry. And that's my first time meeting this man. There's a long back and forth history, but I'm only going to tell you some of the highlights. The second time he comes in was probably about a week later. He came in, saw me, and I said, get out, because I knew who he was. And he goes, I gotta take a shit. So he just pulls his pants down and shits all over the fucking floor. And I'm like, I was thinking about shooting this man. I really was. And I said, get out! Like, my voice fucking cracked. And I did call the cops, and they were kind of like, well, we'll send a deputy out there as soon as we can. Like, this dude had, like, black shit all over my front floor, all over my nice clean floor. And I had to go out there. I cleaned it up because I wasn't going to make somebody doing it for, minimum wage go clean it up. That's not right. You're only getting paid $7. You shouldn't have to do that. I get paid the most money. I might as well go fucking do it. That's just my mentality on it. It's not right for, a 19-year-old kid to have to go out there and clean up like a homeless man's excrement all over my floor. So the cops said they were going to go after him, but, there was no follow-up on that, and I don't think they even bothered. I had to file this little report and shit. The next time, it was like a little farther down that Willie came in, and he walked in, and I was like, get the fuck out. Like, my voice is just cracking because I'm getting so mad when I see him. And I'm really thinking, like, let me just hang this apron up. Give me a reason to put this apron down. And he comes in and puts a pocket knife on the front counter, and he's like, yeah, y'all want to buy a pocket knife? And I was like, no, I don't want to buy your fucking pocket knife. I have a knife. And he's like, well, I need this. I need the money so I can go. I was like, I don't care what you need the money for. Get the fuck out of my store. You can't solicitate here. You're lucky I don't break your jaw. Get out. I don't care if I sound rude. I don't fucking care, man. So Willie was getting mad. I was, get out. So he fucking left. And it was like 8 hours, because I was there all day. It was 8 hours. Me and my girlfriend, she came up there to visit me. Well, she drove the car. I didn't drive. But she drove the car up there to come pick me up or whatever. And my closing cook was with me. And we're out in the parking lot, and they have like these automatic lights that go off after like 40 seconds of you shutting the store down, like turning the lights off and everything. So the parking lot is going to go dark. So we're out there having a cigarette. We're just talking before we get in the car because I don't want cigarette smoke in the car. And The lights go out, and in the distance I hear like a whack, 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 like, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it was getting closer, and we're out there just smoking, talking, and all you can see in the parking lot, because it's so dark out there, is you can see like the ends of the cigarette light up. But across the street there is a street light, and I see somebody walking up to the street light with a big fucking stick, and he's just hitting the ground with it, like. So I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he stops because he hears us talking in the parking lot, and I guess he can see the cigarette smoke, or the ashes on the cigarette light up, because, you know, it's like orange or whatever. And he turns and starts walking to us, beating the fucking ground with it. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who is this? He gets all the way up to us, and it's like dark as fuck out, so I can't see anything. And I know he's like a foot or two from me. And he goes, y'all niggas want to buy a pocket knife? And I started losing my fucking shit. But before I even got to do anything, my girlfriend's like, I'm about to call rape if you don't get the fuck out, because she knew who he was. And he starts like arguing, and then my cook is like, I'm about to burn this fucking cigarette out on your goddamn forehead if you don't get out. So he leaves. I can't call the cops because I want to go home. I live like really far away, and I'm like, I don't have time to fucking deal with this shit. So I left. And I didn't see Willie again for a little while, and when we did, it was just kind of the, you know, the routine back and forth thing. It's not really worth bringing up. But the final time I saw this man was about 6 weeks before I ended up leaving Pizza Hut. I heard somebody come in through the front door, and I went out to go check, and I didn't see him. I didn't see anybody. I was just like, huh, okay. So I looked in the dining room. I didn't see anybody. I was just like, maybe the sensor was just making noise. And it was like a good hour and a half later. We closed the store down. I locked the front door. Didn't see anybody. And I went to start counting the money. So I put the money on the counter, and I'm just like sitting there sorting through it and making my deposits. And I just happened to look up really quickly because the bathrooms are like right over the counter. I just happened to look up, and I see this, like my eyeball ring. Yeah. I just see this like this eyeball poking through the crack in the door. And as soon as I look up at it, it shuts the door really quickly. And I was like, oh, fuck no. Because I knew it wasn't anybody that worked for me. Because I only had like two people, and they were in the back. One was washing dishes. The other one was cleaning the make line. So I'm like, oh, fuck no. So I go over there, and I grab the hammer that's underneath the desk. Because I didn't know who it was. And I knew it was somebody that wasn't supposed to be there. But I grabbed the hammer, and I walked up, and I said, get out, or I'm going to beat you with this. And there was silence. And I'm like, all right, 1, 2, because we have a little button you can. It doesn't matter if you lock the door. If we hit this button, it'll actually unlock the door, and we can just walk in. You know, that's in case like kids lock themselves in, or somebody does this very thing, and like the police can go and arrest them or whatever. But anyways, I was starting to go in with the hammer, and I was gonna beat his ass with it, and he comes out. What this motherfucker was trying to do was not steal money, but what he was gonna do is he was gonna hide in the bathroom until we left, and then he was gonna go make some food. And I have a feeling like this motherfucker's done this before. So I kept him in there with the hammer because he couldn't get out because the door was locked. And we called the police. And we waited a good 30, 40 minutes for these assholes to show up. And they finally did. And they put him in the back of the car. And I'm assuming they actually took him to jail. I don't know. Because I do know that like cops are kind of lenient with homeless people. They don't really do a lot. Because I've had to get some of them arrested out here in California for like loitering and trashing up the front of our store. I hate homeless people, if you didn't notice. I don't even care if that sounds insensitive. Like, I've had nothing but bad run-ins with them, and they don't do anything to better themselves, and they just destroy and garbage up everything, and it's not fucking fair to me. So yeah, but I don't know if he got arrested. I just know they took him away in the cop car. They probably just dumped him off somewhere. That's just how it normally works out. The state doesn't really get any money off of these people, so yeah, that was the story of Willie. I don't think I've ever really hated somebody this bad, but that's not also entirely true. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of this story. Leave a like if you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.